The ABC product classification is at the core of inventory management optimization. What we want to do is we want to organize our items by warehouse. And within each warehouse, we want to organize our items by product family. Typically, we can have 1 to 4 product families, and this is going to be the group of items that we will want to classify. The classification is done in 2 major steps. The first step is to assign special classes. The first special classes is O for obsolete. So some items are obsolete, we don't need them anymore, so we want to clearly identify them and set the min-max at 0, 0. And by identifying them as O, we are protecting ourselves against somebody who wants to buy the part again. We then focus on the super critical items. Those are the S items in our organization. So depending on your organization, what makes an item critical could be different. For example, in a maintenance environment, the critical items could be the parts that if you don't have that part, the plant could be shut down. So obviously that makes that part critical. In a distribution mode, if the item is in promotion, that makes that part super important, and we want to make sure that during that promotion, we treat that part as super important. All of us, or many of us, have non-stock items. The items are listed in our inventory, in our listing, but we don't want to keep them in stock. So basically, those items are with a min of 0, max of 0. We don't want to have them in stock, but because they exist in our list, we can order them very easily. Some clients have repairable parts. If it is your case, you may want to identify your parts as repairable, R for repairable parts, and this is a special management process. You have to send your core, get the parts fixed, and fix the new parts, the repaired part into the process. One thing all of the clients have is new items. We all end up with new items. So those are items that we have created in the last 12 months. And those items are special. We don't have any history on those items. So we don't want to calculate a min-max on those items. We want to manually manage our new items. Once those special classes has been identified, that's when we can proceed with the normal ABC product classification. There are 2 approaches there. Some clients want to identify their A items as the part that are more frequently used. So we look at the part that makes up 80% of the total number of usage, and those are the A items. If we do that, typically we will do our B items on parts with high value of usage to bring the value of usage, or total value of usage between the A's and the B's at 80%. Some other clients will do the reverse. They'll do the product class A based on dollars of sales or usage, and the product class B would be assigned in terms of number of issues. Once the A's and the B's are assigned for our items, we can proceed with the rest of the classification. Typically, the C items will bring our coverage to 95% of the total usage for that part in number of issues. The D items are all the remaining parts that have some kind of action, at least 1 issue during the year. The E item, we will assign the class E to items with 0 sales or 0 usage in the last 12 months. And obviously we'll need some action plan for these E items. The product classification is at the core of every inventory management practices that we put in place in the organization. The product classification is at the core of IMAF's design.